a couple hundred people, perhaps, some Midway sailors, some refugees. We've seen estimates anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 came 5 years ago. It seems like it was last year, so forgive me if I say last year. It was 5 years ago. This year, we want to do something. We want to expand upon it. We really want to focus on sacrifice and freedom, not just for the 58,000 Americans who gave their lives, but for the 260,000 South Vietnamese forces that gave their lives as well. Operation Frequent Wind, I don't need to tell you this, is far greater than just the American role, and certainly far greater than the flight deck that is here today. And it's in that, I suppose, spirit that we're very grateful that Roxanne Chow has played a key role in helping organize the event. We still have some details to work out in terms of the exact speakers and the entertainment and so on, but it's going to be a huge day, a marvelous day. It's one we've been working on now for close to a year. It's really become a signature event on Midway. I can't tell you how many visitors come to Midway fascinated by Midway's role in Vietnam and Midway's role in Operation Frequent Wind. We have an exhibit down below on the hangar deck because our guests asked for it. And we do that on Midway a lot. We listen to what our guests are interested in. You're aboard the most visited floating ship museum in the world. 1.2 million visitors last year. We'll break that record again this year. 4 out of 5 are from around the world. So this event is an opportunity for us to preserve your legacy, to preserve the legacy of those Americans who served in Vietnam, and most importantly, pass that legacy on to future generations. And it's through events like this that really drive it home, to have refugees who literally landed on this flight deck 40 years later, one of them a Midway docent today, still working. But she donates her evenings, volunteers her evenings and weekends to share her story and her appreciation for the sacrifice and the freedom that resulted for her and her family, Stephanie Din. She will be one of the speakers on April 26th. So this will be an event that will be much larger than it was in the past. You have some handouts that give you a general overview of what we have planned. Again, the actual lineup on April 26th, we're still working on, so there'll be some more details that we'll pass along as we go along. But thanks to Roxanne and many others, both in the San Diego Vietnamese community, Peter Pham, and the Vietnamese Federation, as well as Orange County, we really want to make this, we're hoping we are making this your event, not a Midway event. We can do Midway events till the cows come home, and that's just fine. But this is one of those events that we want to be from the community. We're very dedicated to being a community resource, not just San Diego, but Southern California, and maybe even nationally someday as America's living symbol of freedom. This is a step in that direction. And it's only by your support, being here today, helping spread the word, making the event on April 26th even bigger and better than ever, more important than ever, we can progress on that long journey together, not just for our generation, but most importantly for future generations. You also have some additional information there, and it's also on this poster. This event is really the signature, not of a standalone commemoration, celebration, but it's really a highlight, if you will, of several events that we have going. Starting on April 8th, we are going to tie 60,000 yellow and black remembrance ribbons all around this flight deck in honor of those Americans who gave their lives in Vietnam. San Diegans are going to be doing that. During that time, over 2 weeks, we'll donate $1 of every admission back to veteran service organizations. All leading up to the Wall That Heals, a 50% replica of the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. It will be on the bow on April 26th with all 58,300 names on it. It'll be the first time that this museum will be open 24 hours a day for the week following, right on top of this event, so that veterans and civilians and children and grandchildren of veterans can come pay their respects. Many of them preferring to do it at 2 in the morning when no one else is around, rather than during the day. And we've made arrangements that the Wall That Heals will in fact be open 24 hours a day up on the bow. So from the remembrance ribbons to Operation Frequent Wind on Sunday, the Wall That Heals, this really is Vietnam Month, April, aboard the USS Midway. And we're so gratified that so many people have joined with us to help us build the event, build the schedule of events, so that it truly is, again, your event and not just a Midway event. So I'm going to keep it short. A couple housekeeping. I'm going to turn it over to Roxanne because I know she's got a couple comments she's going to want to add. A couple housekeeping items. Both Roxanne and I and others will be glad to stay around as long as you like for interviews afterwards. We have some pre-made boxed lunches for you. Paulette, wherever Paulette is, has a red ticket that you can take down to the cafe, and they will give you your drink and sandwich right away. So we can all go down in a group, or you can go down individually at your leisure. Might be a little more convenient for you, so you can get your interviews or anything else that you need, so that we can make it as convenient and complete for you as possible. So I'm going to keep it that short and certainly be around, except to say again, thank you so much on a Saturday coming here. Some of you from LA, I cringed at the thought of Roxanne asking you to come down on a Saturday, but gratified that so many of you are in fact with us today. I can't wait for April 26th and all that surrounds it, and welcoming all you and your neighbors and hopefully your family back aboard here in just a couple of weeks. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Roxanne.
Rebels gone! Yay!